COE champion over everything.
Welcome everybody to another special episode of COE Champion Over Everything. I have with me a special guest today, Mr. John Helms the third, and he is doing some tremendous things in just wildlife rescue, taking care of the beaches, and I'm not going to steal too much of his thunder in introducing him, but he is a brother of my brother. They played ball together back in high school, and I had an opportunity to meet John. I want to say at the height of the pandemic, doing a group panel discussion, and man, from the very first time he spoke, I was like, I like this guy. So I had to bring you on, John. How's everything going today, man?
Man, everything's going good. Thanks, Reginald, for having me.
Awesome. As always, when we kick off the show, we like to capture your champion story. But before you share your champion story, if you can just give us a brief introduction about who you are, and we'll get into the what you do a little bit later, but who you are, and then just go into your champion story.
All right. So for those that don't know me, I am John Helms, 30 plus years living in Greenwood. Graduate of Greenwood High, football, played soccer, golf, everything. People know me from that. And then I eventually, I guess, packed up and moved on to Florida with my wife. And that's where the new story and new adventure begins.
All right. So with that new story, the new story being Salty Soul Foundation, tell us a little bit how you all got started and where you are right now.
All right. So right now, we are in the Tampa area, Dunedin, Florida, to be specific, but nobody knows what that is. It's on the coast at Tampa. My wife and I started a clothing company, Salty Soul Clothing, back in 2011. And after starting that clothing brand, we realized that something was missing and we couldn't figure out what it was. And we figured out a purpose. There has to be a purpose for everything. And the purpose behind the brand was helping with everyday problems that we have here in Florida, which is cleaning the beaches. We have millions of tourists every week or every month that come down, and they're littering our beaches. But a lot of us live here, and that was a problem. So we started cleaning the beaches back in 2017. Not as a nonprofit, just hey, this is what we're gonna do. It's a weekend thing. We both have 9-to-5 jobs. We still have 9-to-5 jobs. So this is just something that we thought we could give back to the community.
So 127 up, 1633. Smoking trolley, barbecue, where you wanna eat. Yeah. 60127 up, 1633. Smoking trolley, barbecue, where you wanna eat.
Got you. And now you all are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. How did everything come to be with, it just kind of being something that you and your wife's heart was passionate about doing versus to now forming it as a 501c3?
So, first off, a 501c3 is not a simple process. It is a almost year-long process to get it all done through the government because government documents are not easy. But we started the clothing business trying to just basically have an additional income. And then it ended up when we started cleaning the beaches that all the additional income was going to cleaning the beaches, and it was no longer additional income. So the 501c3 allowed us to, once we incorporated, it allowed us to get proper funding and allow corporations to use the tax write-off, and they could then, help us with what we're doing, so that it was not coming out of our pockets every single month.
Got you. And now, I understand that y'all are mainly down in Florida, but you also do some things out in California. And now you all are branching back to our area, our neck of the woods. I'm getting tongue-tied because I'm so excited just to talk about it because, as I started doing my research about all that you were doing, I knew about the t-shirts. I knew about Delta Soul from just, following you on Facebook. But then when I started researching, I was like, wow, this is huge. So tell us about the partnership that you have with one of the colleges in the Mississippi Delta, as well as how Delta Soul transitioned from Salty Soul.
All right. So I guess Christmas 2020, we were back home, and both of us decided we need to do something for back home too. We've learned a lot over the past years. I'm going to kind of draw this all back together, but just to explain. So since 2017, we've actually collected over 9 tons of trash from the beach, over 18,000 pounds of trash. That's with the help of over 3,000 volunteers. That's 180,000 volunteer hours. Those are volunteer hours that go towards, here in Florida, they have Bright Futures. I'm not familiar with what they have in Mississippi as well, but it's Bright Futures is for high school students to earn scholarship money. It's volunteer hours. They can do it however they want, but some of those 180,000 hours go to kids going, credits towards their college hours or college dollars. So we, back in 2020, Christmas 2020, we were back home. We were, visiting family in Greenwood and Grenada and Welcome and just all over town, and said, you know what? We've learned a lot. We've been in Florida since 2009, and we've learned a lot. We've grown a lot, and we want to give back. And how do we give back? Yes, we started a foundation that has to do with beach cleanups. There aren't beaches in the Delta. We understand that. Actually had someone call me out on that. I'm like, I got it. I know there's not beaches, but you know what? There's water. There's waterways. There's, everything that leads leads into the Mississippi Delta. There's lakes. There's all these waterways that we enjoy, fishing and going into the waterways, and the pollution in there is a problem regardless. And can we tie it all back to Salty Soul Foundation? Absolutely. It all flows to the Gulf at the end of the day. It's all the same water. So we took that, and I worked with a local artist here I told him my idea of Delta Soul. He's the one that helped me build the brand of Salty Soul and the foundation. And I worked with him. I said, hey, I got a crazy idea. We're going to do Delta Soul. He said, what does that mean? I said, well, let me give you a quick write-up about the Delta. And you can see the write-up. It's at delta-soul.net. And it's a nice write-up about what it's like in the Delta and what people don't know about the Delta. There's certain things that there's a lot of misconceptions about the Mississippi Delta. And there's also things that people don't understand. Like, I can almost guarantee that every piece of music you listen to is influenced from the Delta.
Indeed.
Like, it all got its roots in Edabina and Indianola and Clarksdale. The roots came from there. There's no doubt, and you've heard artists all over the world, whether it's rap, hip hop, country, blues, BB King started the trend. It's BB King, it's Muddy Waters. It's the people that you heard about growing up, and then you realize, oh, they live down the street. It's not, it's not some mythical thing. And so we took basically Delta Soul it's built off of the inspirations of the Mississippi Delta, whether that's the land, the music, or the agriculture, whatever it is built off of the Delta. That runs deep within all of us, whether we know it or not, and we understand how deep it is. It runs deep, and most people don't understand that, or don't appreciate that.
Yeah, well, both. They may not understand, because a lot of times when I tell people, I'm in South Mississippi now, and where you from? The Delta. Ooh. Like, no, wait, like, it's not that bad. Well, it's bad enough you didn't go back. Not necessarily, I have more opportunities here, but I still love my roots of being from the Delta. It's more than just catfish ponds and cotton. And that's a lot of times what people draw back in their minds is, the catfish ponds, the cotton. They forget about, like you said, the legends like Muddy Waters, like BB King, like Robert Johnson. One of your shirts is Delta Soul, the Crossroads version. And I love that one. And that's the one that I ordered. And looking forward to wearing that one. But yeah, man, the Delta has a beautiful tapestry of just land, with itself, people, because, it's a lot more. I feel like it's a lot more love from the people in the Delta. And the reason why I say that is because when I came to USM back in 2001, I gravitated towards more people that were from the Delta, from Indianola, from Greenville, from Clarksdale, from Cleveland. We made a close-knit group, and we're still close today. And that's all because of that love that we have throughout the Delta. So I'm gonna transition just a little bit, because I'm gonna be transparent. I was completely ignorant of how, what we do as people. I know not the litter and stuff like that, but how we interact when we're on the beaches can affect wildlife. I did not find this out until 2019, my first year teaching at one of our community colleges. We had, for my entrepreneurial class, the class did a group project in which they were going to start their own company. The name of the company was Save the Turtles. All right. So, I let the students totally work on their own and do their own project. And what I found out, they came up with a biodegradable straw. It's two concepts. That was the first one. The second concept was a straw that collapsed. So that was the second concept. So when I'm asking them, I'm like, okay, so what makes this company so much different? And they started telling me the story about how much waste is being found on our beaches and how much of it is killing our wildlife. And I was like, I never thought about it, because I'm inland, right? It's very seldom I go to the beach. When I do, I have seen the comparisons between Mississippi Gulf Coast and Gulf Shores, how much cleaner one is over the other. You don't see trash. So I started seeing it more and more as we traveled. But kind of speak to like the straws and how they help the wildlife versus what we've had in the past with the plastic, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, and I have this conversation often, both sides of this conversation. It's like, okay, let's do the biodegradable straws. That's a very good solution. The problem with that is we're not addressing the actual problem. The problem is people who just disregard, we'll just say life, and just throw stuff on the ground. Yeah. Like a biodegradable straw was just the one thing they picked up on. And so kudos to the students that did it, because those biodegradable straws are definitely a hot topic in the coastal regions of Florida. So every restaurant we go to has either a paper product straw or a recyclable straw or some variation, or they just don't give you straws and you have to literally ask for them. So it's like they were on the right track. But at the end of the day, when I'm walking down the causeway, which is one of the common places that we clean, and it's a path. It's a paved down the road sidewalk of bike traffic and just people jogging and walking and everything else. Well, straws aren't the problem. McDonald's receipts and Chick-fil-A boxes and just normal trash is like, oh, ain't nobody looking, just throw it out the window. I'm like, there's 15 trash cans down the side of the road. Just pick one. And it's, you see it. And I guess if you go to the 50,000 foot view, I did some research on Greenwood specifically. And so we'll tie all this back together. If you throw, let's just say, a receipt, you drop a receipt on Howard Street in Greenwood, just downtown. Well, when it rains, that's going to flow down to a drain. That drain is going to run into the river. That river is going to run into the Mississippi, which is going to run into the Gulf. There's nothing filtering that from point A to point B. It all impacts the marine wildlife, regardless of where it is. If there is an outlet, that outlet ultimately becomes the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean, somewhere.
Wow.
So, and that's how it was so easy to tie just the Mississippi Delta into Salty Soul. It was like, it's all the same water.
Yeah.
Right? You can track it all backwards.
Yeah, man, that's powerful, man. Thank you for educating us. Definitely, thank you for educating the audience. So with Delta Soul, with Salty Soul, I understand. You all have done a ton of volunteer work, and congratulations to being able to partner to get students college hours. But for the everyday person, if they wanted to get out there and get boots on the ground to help, what are different ways that they can help to, whether it's volunteer hours, whether it's donations, what are ways that people can help move the organization forward and do more to help improve our environment?
Good question. It's one we get asked all the time. So you can look directly in your own community, regardless of where that is. I don't care where you are in the country. There is a top level parent organization called Keep America Beautiful. You've seen them when you're traveling. They're on the interstates. You see Adopt a Mile, Adopt anything, a beach, an island, a walkway. Keep America Beautiful is a parent organization. And below that, you have every single state has a Keep Mississippi, Keep Florida, keep insert your state here, beautiful.com. Okay. They're all there. And then beyond that, you have county levels or city levels. So there's always a way to help locally. I would be willing to bet in your case, there is a Keep Hattiesburg Beautiful or a Keep the Berg Beautiful or the Hub City Beautiful, something that exists for Hattiesburg. Yeah. And I have looked at several of the states where we're considering doing one for the Delta. There's several that are already taken. We're looking at the Delta encompasses 30 counties. We're looking to possibly take on 4. Okay. As an official organization, but just like we do here, we're based in Pinellas County, which is where St. Pete, Clearwater, all that is. But we have people ask us to do cleanups elsewhere. We'll go north to 2 counties up from us, or we'll go west, east. We go wherever people ask us to go. We're not bound to, hey, this is the only place we're cleaning. We will absolutely, it's the only way we're going to grow. That's how the Los Angeles thing came up. found a couple that was cleaning Los Angeles beaches. They joined one of our local Facebook groups, and we told them, or we asked them, I told them, we asked them if they would mind becoming a chapter of the foundation. And like, well, what does that involve? Fly a flag and we'll send you all the supplies you need ever.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, we'll do that. So that was our first chapter.
Linked Up, man, is a nonprofit, and essentially, man, it exists to help close the wealth gap, and we do that by providing financial education, home ownership opportunities, entrepreneurship opportunities, and access to mainstream banking to people in underserved communities.
So, I know a certain percentage of the merch, the clothing, goes back to help the organization. So that's one way that people can help support, right? And what's the website link? I don't want to mispronounce it. It's Salty Soap. What's the website that they can visit?
So I'll give you a couple. Straight merchandise, where 25% of all proceeds go to the foundation, is saltysoul.com. That's the easy one. The foundation itself is saltysoulfoundation.org. And you can get to the merchandise from there, but you can get to a direct link to donate directly. There's the different chapters are listed there. We currently have a GoFundMe to launch the Delta operation, the Delta chapter.
Awesome. And then you have partners that are listed on the website. I did see that as well. So if somebody wanted to become a partner, what does that process look like?
All you gotta do is ask.
Just ask. All right.
Just ask.
Just ask.
We have partners that range from, hey, we want to donate 1% of sales on a Tuesday every month, and we'll send you a donation. Cool. We want to donate 15, whatever it is. Or we commit to, $150 a month. Okay, cool. There's no, silver, gold, platinum packages on this. We haven't gotten there yet. Sure, we would love to get there. We had a company based in Oldsmar, which is right outside of where we live, a massive t-shirt company, and they wanted to help. They designed a shirt, and then they sold it, and they did pre-orders, and in a month, their pre-order, they were going to donate 100% of the proceeds. And me, just little me, thinking a couple $100, I'm perfect. That's what we need.
Yeah.
They, in 1 month of pre-sales, they cut a check for $10,500. Wow. I was floored. Wow. I did not know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, my wife and I we were speechless. And anybody that knows me from way back or today, I'm not speechless often.
Yeah.
I'll run my mouth. But I was literally speechless.
Man, that's beautiful. That's amazing. John, brother, we coming towards the end. I think we covered a lot in this time. And once again, I thank you for educating me, because it's a lot I didn't know that you all did. Like I said, when I first saw everything, it was the clothing, because that's how you all got started, right?
Yep.
It was the clothing.
Yep.
And then everything, I saw the Jeep next. The Jeep was what I saw next. I was like, man, the Jeep I like it. But then, the branching out, even with, our interview today, it took some time, because you all are working on some things in the background with one of the colleges in the Delta to help get Delta Soul where it needs to be. And from being from the Delta, I definitely want to help in any shape, form or fashion that I can. I got my shirt ordered, so looking forward to wearing that. Once I get it, I end up going with the mint green. I didn't see the mint green actual color, but I was like, mint, I think it's gonna look good. But the actual logo. So for those, I mean, if y'all love t-shirts, I mean, the Salty Soul logo is amazing. Then once you combine, I'm telling y'all, the Crossroads was my favorite because it just connected every single thing that the Delta encompasses. So that's my favorite. That's my recommendation. Y'all make sure y'all reach out. John has already gave us the website that you can go on. You can see the merchandise, but also you can learn a little bit more about the backstory for anything we didn't cover today, but also you can get involved. And brother, before we get off of here, is there anything else you want to speak to that I did not ask during this particular interview?
I don't have anything in particular. I want to thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And I'll give my my not so subtle shout outs to myself. It is so anywhere, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, the foundation is Salty Soul FL for Florida. And then for the Delta Soul line, that's Delta Soul MS. And you'll see a lot of cross posting. We're all one big family. You see the foundation, you see the Salty Soul clothing, you see Delta Soul clothing. We're all one. It is literally my wife and I in a garage making shirts. This is not a mass market organization. We are sweating in a garage in Florida getting these shirts out. When Reginald's order came in, it is me in 120-degree garage making a shirt. We do it all ourselves. We do not outsource anything. And we plan on bringing this, like I said, we're bringing this back to the Delta. We're going to bring the brand, and we're going to bring recognition back to the Delta. I will be sure to send you the write-up. It's a very good write-up. I can't take credit for it. I'm not that good of a writer, but I will tell you, my dad wrote it. And he is that good of a writer.
Yeah.
So I was impressed. I had people, that's how I got in touch with Delta State University, was that write-up. He was like, I was inspired. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Can you write me another one?
And look, y'all, one thing I didn't talk about that John does, and I love this. He is in the process. I can't remember if it's a private group or what, but he's telling the story, the background about the Delta and different shops and different people. And I mean, it's a beautiful picture just to see, to learn more about the Delta. And I'm from the Delta, and there's a lot that you've been posting lately I didn't know. So learning about that rich history that we have in the Mississippi Delta. But yeah, man, I appreciate you once again, brother, for coming on, man. And I'm looking forward to my shirt coming in. I need to get KT one too, but yeah, that's a different story.
I'll get him one.
Yeah, man. Well, once again, champions, brother John Helms, he Delta Soul, Salty Soul. We appreciate everything that you're doing to continue to help keep our environment safe and beautiful. So once again, thank y'all for tuning in. COE, champion over everything. Once again, thank you for tuning in to COE, champion over everything.